It's not too bad. The stuff, not as much of a rip-off as like some of the other stuff. You know, mountain designs, it's like $500 for a vest.
Hi everybody, welcome to Frank Drago Reserve for Round 8 NPL WA action here as Bayswater City hosts ECU Joondalup here in the West. Thanks for joining us this afternoon on the Football West YouTube channel or Facebook pages, wherever you may be watching around Australia. My name's Tommy Dolman and we should have a pretty good fixture on our hands today. A top half battle between three-time NPL WA winners Bayswater and defending champions ECU, two of three teams to win the title since the NPL WA era began in 2014. Captains Johnny Perkins and Steve Hesketh toss the coin and go through the pre-game admin. Bayswater, the home team today. They've blown a bit hot and cold at times this season, but last week's win at Coburn sees Gareth Naven's side move to a split of 3 wins and 3 losses from their 6 games so far. The hosts can't move higher than 5th today, no matter the result, but separation from the bottom half can be extended, and with 4th place Sorrento at leaders Floriat today, the opportunity to put the pressure on the goals and enhance their top 4 hopes does carry some weight. For ECU, a shock defeat to Armidale in round 2 hasn't deterred Kenny Lowe's side, with the button well and truly pushed since then, and the reigning league winners currently on a 4-game winning streak. They start the round 4 points behind unbeaten Floriat with a game in hand and were no doubt buoyed by the leaders dropping points at Joondalup last week. But attention turns to today in keeping pace with the top of the table clash against Athena looming in round 9 after next weekend's cup round. So this is one of 5 games around the grounds today. Glory and Balcatta a little bit later on at 7 p.m. Your referee out in the middle today is Shane Skinner. He'll be assisted by linesman Joshua Nixon and Alex Wright. So just about set to get underway here. A top half battle to get round of the 8 of the NPL WA started on your Saturday afternoon. 5 games. This one getting the ball rolling. But our attention staying at Frank Drago Reserve with a meeting between 2 sides hopeful of being in a late season shake-up. It's Bayswater City and ECU Joondalup. We're off and we're underway with both teams playing in their home kits this afternoon. ECU getting us underway playing in their red shirts and white shorts with the red socks. Bayswater City playing in their black and blue horizontal stripes, and the hosts were pressing early, but Nelson Shongo was able to find Danny Hodgson up the line. Dangerous ball into the middle, spinning away Tom Howe. Shane Skinner lets that one go. It was actually Declan Hughes, who hit the ground, but Bayswater will gain a little bit of control. And we've got a throw for ECU over on the far side, who look to get the ball moving, and this time Hughes is fouled. Hughes, of course, played here last season, 14 appearances and 1 goal against Balcatta in Phase 2. A young player who's trialled in Scotland with Motherwell and Ross County, and was also part of Perth Glory's Asian Champions League squad in 2020 as well. Now here's Jack Allen raking ball forward. 2 chasers in Tyler Garner and Jason Mirko, but skipper Johnny Perkins was off his line quickly. Parmatia. And now Nelson Shongo. Tom Howe. defence. Sharing it across the back four. Swishing from side to side, trying to create the angle. Now Palmatier goes with the raking ball, and it's a good one to pick out Daryl Nicol, who of course is playing at his former club this afternoon. Nichol's crossing to the middle, was looking for Hodgson. Coming away with it was Hesketh, who intercepted well, and he found Farah. Wider out, who took a chance there, allowed Hodgson to nip in, and that's good pressure from the striker. And now the ball's released for Riley Woodcock down this left-hand side. He may have won a corner down there, and he has. Riley Woodcock playing in his second NPLWA game for ECU Joondalup, having made the move from Coburn City a couple of weeks ago. So first corner of the afternoon, it'll be Daryl Nicol to swing it in. ECU, plenty of numbers forward. It's into the near post, and Gordon Smith, another player playing against his former side and a fellow Scot, as is Nicol. Heading that one behind for a secondary set piece. Nicol and Smith, of course, both joining Bayswater in 2019. Nicol since making the move back to the campus. Second in swinger on the bounce, and gathering that one is Riccardo Mazzolini, Italian goalkeeper who's deputising for the injured Liam Driscoll this afternoon. Driscoll, who'd kept 3 clean sheets in his first 6 games. Unfortunately picked up an injury, and that gives Mazzolini the opportunity this afternoon. Goalkeeper who started last season with Balcatta in 2020, played in the actual ghost round that occurred prior to the COVID shutdown. And then played the second half of last season at UWA Netherlands after being displaced by Riley Stevenson, who joined post-lockdown last year. ECU try to get moving through midfield. Nicol's running after Praja's ball, but he's going to be offside. Hesketh's ball forward, looking for Tyler Garner. Shongo back for Palmatier. Palmatier, another relatively new signing at the campus, of course. Just see how Bayswater's pressure unfolds. ECU do a magnificent job of playing away from the press, though, as the black and blue shirts converged on him. And now Praja will look forward. That one's headed into touch by Albert Fullard over on the far side. Hughes' cross, looking for the run of Woodcock, who got across his man, and linesman's flag indicates a goal kick, and Shane Skinner was happy to go with his assistant. Just back to Palmatier quickly. He was the double winning captain at Olympic Kingsway last season, lifting both the league and the top 4 titles. Allen. Diagonal ball. Looking for the run of Gordon Smith. Praja should be able to head that back to his goalkeeper, and does. Hughes. Ball forward looking for the run of Hodgson, who managed to stay onside. Links up nicely with Daryl Nicol. It's Danny Hodgson who's around the edge of the area. ECU just trying to probe here and look for the gap. Sliding ball was looking for Shongo by Woodcock, and a combination of Farrer and Allen work it out. Bayswater's backline, and ECU will have a third corner of the afternoon. Majority of the goalmouth action at this end so far. Early days, of course. Nichols' corner, it's a bit deeper this time. Higgins was arriving at the back post, and we'll have another corner from the other side. Last touch there may have been off Mirko, who was tracking him. Higgins this time with the in-swinger. Coming in, Howe was arriving. Ricochet came off Farrer. It could have gone anywhere, and in the end it was gathered by Mazzolini, who holds the ball up and wants his defence to spread out wide. ECU showing their intent in these early stages. They've been on an excellent run of form. Have Kenny Lowe's side. Searching ball now here, looking for Garner. Shongo will try and body his opponent off the ball, and that's good defending from Jeremy Shongo. On to Praja, now Hughes. Nicol, ball will stay at his feet. Yes, it will. Lovely piece of skill to get away from Fullard there, and then retreats back to Shongo. Same before, Kenny Lowe's side won on the opening day against Joondalup, and then suffered a 4-0 home loss to Armidale. A real surprise result that caught everybody out, seemingly. And that's proved to be the catalyst for a pretty solid turnaround. 4 wins in a row, 4 clean sheets as well, 9 goals in those games. And with the game against the league leaders Florence look forward after the cup round, it's shaping up as one of the games of the season for certain, as Higgins looks inside, links up with Woodcock. He'll want that left foot, Higgins. He'll curl at goal. And Mazzolini stood on his spot and palmed over the bar. May have just seen that one late, even though it was straight at the goalkeeper, taking no chances. Seen that booming left foot of Andy Higgins on a couple of occasions this season from distance. Meanwhile, corner number 5 for ECU. Nichols in swinger. Mazzolini's got to deal with it again, and that's a good, strong, solid claim from the goalkeeper, who's had plenty of work to do in the opening 10 minutes or so. Now Fullard's ball. Garner. Cleared away there by Parmatia. Sliding in there was Sparta. So in possession back now. Smith's stood up by Woodcock. Chance for Bayswater to just put a few passes together. Abrahams, and now Hesketh and Allen. Fullard has peeled right wide out to the touchline. That's a wonderful ball from Jack Allen to pick out Fullard. It was charged down by Higgins there, I think. Still battling for possession. Bayswater, poor clearance. Smith may just be able to latch onto that. But that's good defending from Howe. And then Sparta slipped into the challenge. The ECU midfielder came away with the ball. The visitors will reset once more. From Praja was a little short. Garner tried to get the better of Shongo, but the defender's been pretty solid in the first stages of this game and deals with that one pretty comfortably. Bayswater will get the throw. Howe. Woodcock, man coming in the form of Farah, but Woodcock does really well, and then Howe tries to spot one of that dangerous front two in Nickel and Hodgson, but neither were able to latch on to the pass. Winning the throw over on that far side, number 4, Michael Zimmerino. Fairly new signing for Bayswater from Balcatta after 5 goals last season in his 16 games. Spent the last 2 years there at Grindleford Reserve, having moved from Perth with brother Adam, who remains there. In fact, all 3 of the Zimmerino brothers at different clubs. In 2021, as Nickel manages to skip down this right-hand side, sliding in was Allen, who dealt with that one pretty well. Higgins, Woodcock. Now Hughes. Possession football from the Northern Suburbs club, who worked that one out really well for Hughes, who goes with the diagonal, and Mazzolini is off his line and catching comfortably again. Bayswater 3 wins, 3 losses from their opening 6 games so far. Yet to string together 2 in a row, though. Just the one heavy defeat, which was here at home to Floriat, who have been excellent so far in 2021. Of course, that 1-0 win against Coburn last week. Gordon Smith's goal has moved them into the top half, and now Hodgson will be one-on-one with Allen in the area. Hodgson tried to get the shot away, but the Bayswater defender stood tall. Howe's ball there a little close to Mazzolini. And plenty of incentive for both of these teams today, of course, as we alluded to in the pre-game. Chance for Bayswater to put a bit of pressure on that top 4, which they're no doubt striving for in season 2021. ECU looking to keep pace with Floriat, who are in action at ED Leidas Stadium against Sorrento this afternoon. Beautiful May autumn afternoon here in the west. Barely any breeze to speak of. A little bit of cloud cover in the background, but no threat of rain. As a second ball intrudes onto the pitch, and Shane Skinner just says, hold up a minute. And now we're back underway again. Hesketh. Allen. And now Farah. Into the feet of Smith. Hodgson putting the pressure on and doing very well. Sliding back in there was Gordon Smith, who won the ball. Took a piece of Hodgson in the process. Allen's diagonal. This one looks a little overhit for Zimmerino, but Winger does very well to keep that in play and wins Bayswater their first set piece of the afternoon. Jason Mirko wearing the 10 shirt will go over to take. He's got Sparta short, ignores him now. 5 players in the penalty area. This one's whipped in. Perkins has to punch. And it's a good punch because it's inadvertently released Hodgson, who's got no support for the time being. So just has to check back and find his teammate Shongo. And then the retreating Farrell was able to affect the play. Bayswater can just try and settle into a rhythm once again. A little bit better from the home side in recent minutes, keeping the ball after that ECU surge at the start, which saw them have 5 corners to the left of your stream. And here's another one of those diagonals from Allen, but that's great goalkeeping from Perkins, who was off his line promptly. Two coaches in a dugout this afternoon with strong Perth Glory connections, both who like to play nice football and knock it around in Kenny Lowe and Gareth Naven. Naven, of course, former Perth Glory club captain. Kenny Lowe, 5 years of head coach at the Perth Glory in the A-League. Of course, won the league in his maiden season at ECU Joondalup in his second campaign now. Gareth Naven with experience at NPL level in terms of the Perth Glory and the Melbourne Victory under 23s. Tactical battle just as interesting as the clash between the players on the pitch as Sparta looks up. He'll invite Allen to trot forward again. The diagonal's been an effective ball so far this afternoon from the centre half. It allows Bayswater to just probe and get a little bit closer as Mirko chips that one into the area. Header away from Parmatia, only as far as Jordan Abrahams. And now Higgins will try to launch ECU on the counter. He's got Nickel ahead of him, who'll use that acceleration we've seen so often. It's Nickel driving into the area. Daryl Nickel will strike. It's a good save by Mazzolini's legs. Covered the angles well and got down low to make the save nicely. Just a flash of what ECU Joondalup are capable of. Not just a team who can play nice football through the lines, through the midfield third, but also a team that can be released with the pace of Hodgson and Nickel up there on the counter. Now Mirko's applying a bit of pressure and doing really well. Jason Mirko into the area. Parmatia had to step in. It was good communication between ECU's back 4 and goalkeeper. So Bayswater 0, ECU Joondalup 0. Live on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook page this afternoon. 4 other games going on at 3 p.m. here in the West. Perth Glory and Balcatta to come a little later on. That's Howe goes sliding in and Bayswater emerge with the free kick. Chance for a few numbers to go forward for Bayswater. Both centre halves have stayed back though, curiously enough. Mirko's ball and it's aimed at Smith. It's over his head. Clearance half made by Shongo, completed by Hughes. It's coming back from Hesketh. Smith with a nice turn in the area. Appeals for a penalty and Shane Skinner says no foul. Smith with good strength and a nice little spin before going to ground, and on this occasion Shane Skinner says no foul. Higgins, Hughes. Shongo's in a little bit of space here. Nice chest here for Woodcock, who'll chip that one towards the back post. It looked a little hit for nickel, it was, but the Scot did well to keep that in play. Praja, Higgins, Hughes. Still they try and probe, and in the end that's good tracking back from Gordon Smith, who can launch Bayswater onto the counter-attack now. The pass was looking for Garner, who I think may have been offside. He was. Flag went up a little late, but only after Garner started to affect the play and put pressure on Shongo. This one being played at a pretty good tempo so far, but only Ricardo Mazzolini's had a notable save to make so far. And here he is finding Zaid Farah. Another player with Perth Glory connections. Second season at Bayswater, having joined from Glory's NPL side. Also played senior minutes for the Glory in their pre-season tour of Malaysia. Scored 2 goals against the Sarawak state team as well, did Farah. Now plying his trade at Bayswater. And here he is doing really well to pinch the ball off Woodcock. It's Zaid Farah driving into the area and striking at goal. Perkins was able to watch that wide, but good intent shown by the fullback. Pinching the ball off Woodcock's toes and then driving towards goal. Did have Mirko to his right. Opted to take the strike on himself. Hodgson. Little lob over for Woodcock, who helps it forward. Hesketh with the header into touch. Tom Howe scored that wonderful goal on the final day of last season as ECU wrapped up the title with that 4-0 win against Sorrento. Wonderful day, that one, for the Northern Suburbs club, who went into the final day of the 2020 NPLWA League season without much hope, I'd say, of winning the title. Floriat and Coburn were both in the shake-up, and in the end results went their way, and that 4-0 win over Sorrento was enough to give them their first league title in the NPL WA era. First trophy as well since the State Cup honour in 2002. And now ECU will look to counter here, but Hesketh will step in. Went in sliding to win the ball back, and Shane Skinner blows the whistle for the foul. Just a talking to for the Bayswater captain, who claims he won the ball. Shane Skinner just holding up his whistle there and letting ECU know that going to have to wait for him to blow before they can take their set piece. Nichols over it. He's quite a way out. Higgins a left-footed option as well. It'll be Daryl Nichol to crack at goal. It's through the wall, and Mazzolini down well again, saving low to his right. No doubt saw that one late again coming through the wall. Sparta forward. Ball was over the head of Fullard, who'd pushed forward from full-back. Just touched on ECU Joondalup's title win before. They actually lost 3 games in a row in the first half of the campaign. We'll come back to that in a second as Howe's ball releases Nichol, who strikes a goal. Palming away was Mazzolini, nearly into the feet of Hodgson, but the Englishman slightly offside. Just back to the point I was making before, it was actually a draw here at Frank Drago Reserve, which got ECU Joondalup really flying towards that league title. They won 4 games in a row after that. 1-1 draw. And that continued on to a run of just 1 defeat in 10. So the crucial point last season, helping them on their way, and they'll be hoping for a similarly positive result again this afternoon as Howe nicks that one off Garner. Palmateer will look up. Looks sideways for Shongo. Once again, ECU Joondalup just flicking the ball around at the back, trying to create those angles. Waiting for the right opportunity to launch. That possibly wasn't it from Palmateer, or at least not in that direction, as Allen was able to gather pretty comfortably. Former Floriat midfielder Jack Allen nowadays playing at the back. Scored a cracker here in the night series final back in 2019 as Mirko hooked in the middle. Garner was arriving. Praja then had to hook out and into touch on the left boot. Michael Zimmerino lurking in behind him. Still a chance for Bayswater to stay on the front foot. Smith keeps control of that nicely and then finds Fullard in a little bit of space. Cross will go into the area. It's very deep though, and that's easy pickings for Perkins. Touched on it briefly before, of course. Another subplot to today's action is the return of Daryl Nichol, 2-time gold medal winner, having won one at each of these 2 clubs. First time returning here since the start of his second spell at ECU. Noted before that they joined together, he and Gordon Smith, back at the start of the 2019 season. Very much a chance for old friends to reunite. Not so much on the pitch, but possibly afterwards. Nichol, of course, scoring 2 goals last week in the 2-0 win over Perth Glory, which was that 4th win in a row we touched on a moment or so ago. Higgins tracking back. Wants that left foot, uses it. Touch from Woodcock was a little heavy, and Farah can step in. Now Mirko stood up by Palmateer, cross charge down. Farah will get involved again. Shongo was the one who got back to his feet first. And now ECU will try and launch forward on the counter-attack, but a touch just escaped the veteran midfielder. Player who's been with the Northern Suburbs club for a number of years, Andy Higgins. Plenty of quality on that left foot. A couple of goals this season. Sparta. Allen. Ball forward was past Mirko. Touch may yet break here for Gordon Smith, who strikes a goal, and he'll possibly think he should have hit the target there, Gordon Smith. In any case, he would have been offside. The goal wouldn't have stood even if it had found the net. And just another sign that Bayswater is starting to find a bit of a footing in this one. Is of course a real tight contest so far. Possibly not surprising though. Last 4 meetings between these two sides have actually been draws. ECU may look to change that now, but Nichols' cross is gathered by Mazzolini. Yeah, the last 4 results between these two clubs have been draws. 2 of them here in the last 2 fixtures. Well, just the 1 meeting between these sides in 2020, as we touched on before. Goals from Tommy Amphlett and Luke Salmon that afternoon. Neither of them in the squads today. Tommy Amphlett since retiring. Luke Salmon not in the black and blue. In fact, ECU Joondalup's last win here was back in round 20 in 2016 when they had a 3-0 win here at Frank Drago Reserve. Seven games unbeaten against ECU since for Bayswater. They'll be looking to keep that going this afternoon, no doubt. One of the powerhouse clubs, of course, Bayswater City, 3-time NPLW winners. Allen's ball forward, flick from Garner. Mirko will try and gather, out muscles Howe. Still has Garner to his right, who crosses in low. Cross took a deflection. Shongo's got to get into gear, and he does. And once again, ECU play out from the back really nicely with a real degree of composure. Although, as I say that, they turn over possession. Classic case of the commentator's curse there. That's a nice spin from Zimmerino, who'll put in the early cross. Mirko's arriving and flashing a header just wide of the upright. May have looked a little closer from up here than it was, but again, Bayswater just building up that head of steam. Tremendous cross first time from Michael Zamorino, who had a bit of time to take a touch and dribble towards goal a bit more, but when you've got delivery like that into the box, you don't need to run much closer towards the byline. Sparta. Farah. Stepping over, trying to get the better of Shongo. Tries to link up with Tyler Garner. Last touch off Palmatea. Home side throw. Allen. Smith. Sparta shouts for it. Here's Jordan Abrahams. Sparta again. Allen, patient play. Pass forward now, looks for the feet of Garner. Strong defending there from Jeremy Shongo, though, who outmuscled his opponent. And now Palmatier should switch here for Nelson Shongo. Been a really good journey for Nelson Shongo. Played at Guelph and Inglewood as a youngster. Found limited opportunities really in the starting lineup, but really had a progressive year at Floreat in 2020 where he made the left back spot his own. 12 of the 16 games last season and a regular fixture in Kenny Lowe's side this term. As Nickel has possession in the corner, he'll look back for Higgins, who has Hughes on the edge of the area. Hughes goes to ground, no foul. Higgins will curl one. He's got under that one and leant back, and Maslany can watch over pretty comfortably. No foul again there for referee Shane Skinner, who's certainly doing his best to let the game flow this afternoon. Neither team able to break the deadlock yet so far. Daryl Nickel with probably the two best chances of the afternoon. Shot from the angle which forced Maslany into a save with his legs before a free kick which was gathered through the wall by the goalkeeper. Palmatier's headed down. Hughes. Jeremy Shongo. New signings to the club like Nelson, having previously played in the US college system with Appalachian State University in North Carolina. Nichols' ball. Now, if this stays in, Praja's got room to roam forward. It's Jakub Praja crossing into the area. Nickel arrives and flashes in a header. Oh, it had to be him, didn't it? Daryl Nickel returns to Bayswater and plunders the first for ECU this afternoon. Bayswater City 0, ECU 1. So defending champions lead by a goal to nil here at Bayswater. Goal scored by Daryl Nickel. It was written in the script really, wasn't it? Against his former club. First time we've really seen Jakub Praja get forward. As Hodgson's challenge on Allen there was a little late, and last season's golden boot winner will be the first to go into the book this afternoon. Shane Skinner showing a yellow ticket to the Englishman. Allen's free kick, aimed in towards Smith. Sparta's ball forward. Cleared by Woodcock, and now Allen goes back in. Hard on Hodgson, possibly a little bit of payback there. Strong challenge. The Bayswater player. Hodgson a little slow to get to ground, but looks okay, thankfully. How? Hughes, touch a little heavy, allowed Mirko to step in, sliding in Hughes and Garner. Garner emerges with the ball, and now Mirko's got a bit of space down this right-hand side. Two in the middle, one of them Smith. Didn't quite get to him. Parmentier was able to head away. Bayswater looking for a quick response. Hesketh's diagonal, a really good one for Mirko, whose crosses a deep one. Praja has to just help that one on. And Higgins is able to keep it alive over on that far side. Last touch off Fullard there. Another player with a Perth Glory link, plenty of them. Smith going to ground there. And winning the home side, a free kick in a promising position once more. Time ticking down before the interval here. Bayswater would love to reply just before half-time here. They've sent 6 forward. Mirko and Fullard over the free kick. Just Riley Woodcock in the wall. Mirko's ball in's low, a little disappointing. Higgins was able to hook away. Bayswater may just be able to stay on the front foot though, as Farah tries to help around the corner, and then it gives away the free kick on Hughes. Parmentier, Woodcock, Hughes, and now Woodcock again. Sliding ball is released for Hodgson, who's in the area. Allen slid in, didn't get the ball, and Shane Skinner points to the spot. And I think Jack Allen knew it as well. Hodgson got there that little bit quicker. And the home defender went to ground and left the referee with no choice, really. So Mazzolini will face off with Danny Hodgson here. Last season's Golden Boot winner. It's going to be Hodgson from the spot. He sends Mazzolini the wrong way. And in the blink of an eye, 2 goals in the minutes leading up to half-time are going to give ECU a 2-goal break at the interval here. Bayswater City 0, ECU 2. Bayswater get us restarted. Allen's ball forward. Mirko looks back here for Sparta, who clips into the area to the deep one. Here, great save by Perkins from Zimmerino. Bayswater with a chance to reply almost immediately after Hodgson's penalty there. And that'll be the last action of the half. So late drama in the shadows of half-time here at Frank Drago Reserve. And it's the deadly duo of ECU Joondalup once again. Daryl Nickel and Danny Hodgson, who've both scored late in this first half to give ECU Joondalup a 2-0 lead. At the break, they both moved to 5 goals this season. Bayswater could have pulled one back. Seconds before the whistle was blown when Michael Zimmerino arrived at the back post and volleyed straight at Perkins, who had to be alert to save. But as things stand, it's the defending champions who hold a 2-goal cushion here and are looking good to extend their winning streak to 5. Half-time here at Frank Drago Reserve, Bayswater 0, ECU 2. Welcome back to Frank Drago Reserve. Round 8 NPL WA action here in the West. Half-time score is Bayswater City 0, ECU Joondalup 2. As we get set to start the second half here, with the home side facing a 2-goal deficit and looking to claw their way back into the game from the kick-off, but Woodcock is fouled and ECU should be able to get the movement rolling again. Just the one change at the interval. And that change was made by Bayswater, with Michael Zimmerino going off on the left-hand side and replaced by Sean Mukwevo, former Perth Soccer Club youngster. Scored 5 goals in 22 games at under-18s level, in the top 4 cup-winning side at under-18s level in 2019. 8 and 11 at under-20 level last season, and here he is getting a touch. 8 and 11 coming at Bayswater, apologies. Second year at the club as Sparta rolls out for Farah, who just took his eye off the ball, and Shongo will be able to get us restarted. So goal scored by Daryl Nickel, a glancing header, and then Danny Hodgson in the minutes leading up to the break. 2-goal cushion for Kenny Lowe's team. Will be hard to catch from here, having kept clean sheets in each of their last 4 games and their 4 wins. I'm looking to make it a 5th this afternoon. They're in a good position to do so as Shongo tries to wriggle his way out of a couple of challenges and wins the free kick. Praja, ball forward here, searching for the run of Hodgson, who gathers nicely, and then a tangle of legs on the edge of the area, and Hodgson goes to ground, and ECU have a free kick in a promising position at the start of the second half. And I suspect it'll be the likely suspects in Higgins and Nickel who will be standing over this one again. Once again, Shane Skinner holds up the whistle and says, "Wait for me." It's Nickel who steps up, and this one's over the bar. Having earlier tested Mazzolini in the first half from a little further out. New ball onto the pitch quickly as Bayswater look to get going themselves in this second half. Smith loses possession. ECU usually so good at keeping the ball. Make life hard for the home side in this second half. The cross comes in. Mazzolini comes flying off his line, and the free kick was picked out by the referee, I think, for a push by Hodgson on Hesketh. Hesketh, the Bayswater skipper, started at Stirling in WA before time with the Perth Glory youth team. Also had a long stint in the New South Wales NPL with the Rockdale Suns and Bonnie Rig as well. 12 appearances last season and a regular this time round also. Given he's the skipper and he's in a duel with Hodgson there to win the ball back, and he does just that in the form of a throw-in. Four other 3 p.m. kickoffs live on the Football West Facebook pages and the YouTube channel this afternoon. One game to come later tonight as Hesketh's searching ball will eventually reach Garner, who tries to get the better of Praja, but that was a good recovery from the Czech fullback. Fullback who joined from Sorrento in this off-season. Smith. Cross into the middle, a little close to Perkins. Howe. Shongo. Pass a little short for Woodcock, and now Sparser will try and charge forward. Referee waited to see if the advantage was played, and nothing eventuated, so he'll pull back for the free kick. Free kick which will allow centre-backs to go up once again. Allen, Hesketh, Mukwevo, Smith, Garner, and now Farah arriving to the edge of the area. It's Sparta's ball in, it's a deep one, it's looking for Hesketh, who goes to ground. No foul according to the referee. Looks as though Hesketh just ran into Jeremy Shongo, if anything. Praja. Higgins. Howe, under a bit of pressure from Mirko, but spins away nicely, and then Garner goes back in with really nice tenacity to win possession back for the home side. It's Tyler Garner who looks ahead. Mukwevo's to his left, and Smith was there too, but the pass went to neither of them, unfortunately, and that'll allow ECU to try and counter upfield. Mukwevo with good strength. Once again, we're seeing Bayswater just building up a bit of a head of steam after an early surge from the visitors. Obvious thing to say, but they've got to get the next goal of the game. Unfortunately, Farah's touch just escapes him over on the far side. The hope for Bayswater, though, is that they have scored in every NPLWA game in 2021 so far this season. 3 times once, twice once, and once 4 times. Gareth Snaven's team have shown plenty of attacking punch, but they found limited opportunities to work Johnny Perkins this afternoon. Michael Zimmerino had the best effort in the first half late on. They may get an opportunity here, though. Smith takes a free kick quickly to Fullard, spreads the play wide for Farah. Scotsman will now try and get into the area. Instead, it goes out wide for Mirko. And again, Bayswater will just try and keep the ball, although that pass is a little wayward for Abrahams, and it allowed Hodgson to skip in. Good pressure from the forward, but Bayswater retrieve the ball, and Hesketh will come forward. Pass is charged down. Fullard lets it run. Smith inside. Sparta. Fullard. Cross into the area. Aimed at Jason Mirko, who looks to have just jumped a little early, if anything. And then Farah goes in and collects Woodcock, and it'll be a settling free kick for the visitors. Just the 27 goals between these teams in the 13 NPLWA era meetings. Average of 2 a game, and we've already seen 2 this afternoon, of course. Often tight fixtures, these meetings between these two sides. ECU have the cushion at the moment. In fact, it's the first time that either side scored 2 goals in a meeting between the sides since round 22 in 2017. Howe goes to ground. Touch looked to have evaded him, but this decision is his. Armtier's raking ball forward, should be claimed by Mazzolini, and it is. Done pretty well so far this afternoon, the reserve goalkeeper. No chance with either of the goals, really. Obviously one of those from the penalty spot. Now Mukwevo, crossing in the middle, looking for Garner. Shongo has to be really good, and he goes barreling into Mukwevo, and that's really strong defending from the centre half there. Almost a wrecking ball there. Jeremy Shongo, the way he barged his way through a couple of opponents and found Praja a little further up the line. Parmatia. Shongo again, not a lot of pressure forthcoming from Bayswater's front line. Now they start to press up a little more. Parmatia's ball just skewed off the outside of the boot, and Farrell will allow that to run. So Bayswater City 0, ECU Joondalup 2. Goals from the deadly duo, Nickel and Hodgson, late in the first half. Tommy Dorman with you live on the call. Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages this afternoon across a slate of 4 other NPL matches and State League Division 1 action also on the platforms. As Mirko picks out Garner, space here for Farah to run into. He's quickly closed down by Nelson Shongo. Bayswater have got 4 in the area. If the cross can come in, Farah continues and tries to get round the outside and unfortunately ran out of real estate. Shongo. Praja. Converged upon by 3 Bayswater defenders and somehow emerged with the ball. It's Jakob Praja who's got Hodgson to his right. Hodgson will cross into the area, and Hesketh arrived in a nick of time to charge down and put behind for a corner. Corner to be taken by Higgins. One of the best left foots in the competition. Into the mixer it goes. Hodgson was leaping. It went slightly over his head, and Allen was allowed to head clear. May come back. Praja's touch just escaped him. Now Mukwevo will look to get Smith running on the counter. It's Gordon Smith who still has possession, and now Mirko's in a little bit of space wide right here. ECU have managed to get some numbers back since. That means the home team have to build up a little more in their possession. Guavo makes the run down the line. Hesketh instead goes to Fullard. And now Sparta. Smith. Sliding in Praja. Fullard. Smith. Shrugs off Hughes. Gordon Smith strikes. Blocked by Shongo. Howe and Mirko go up for the challenge and hoisted away by Jeremy Shongo. A little bit of head tennis there for a moment, but Bayswater get it back. Here's Sparta. Second spell with Bayswater. Having been around at the under-20s level. Spent time previously with Reading and AFC Wimbledon in the UK. And Dandenong City in the NPL Victoria too. Once again, ECU showing magnificent composure at the back to play themselves out of a tight situation. There was nothing wrong with Bayswater's press there. 4 players in the mix trying to win the ball back. The calm heads just one out though. As we see, Bayswater turn to the bench for the second time this afternoon. It'll be Jordan Abrahams who makes way. Coming on in his place, Ryan Pearson. Former Sorrento FC player, very versatile as well. Can play in either full-back position or in the centre of midfield, often provides plenty of energy. Looks as though had a slight reshuffle off the back of that challenge. Looks as though Farah has gone into midfield. Pearson has slotted in at right back, and that's allowed Jason Mirko to push up a little higher into the right wing role. So Gareth Naven just mixing things up and just flicking the personnel round to give ECU something different to think about. Here's Praja. Higgins. Stepping in Farah. And now Garner. Mukwevo. That's nice passing from Bayswater. Good football on the halfway line. Farah's ball tried to release Garner, but Shongo was in the way, as he often has been this afternoon. Stepping in Hesketh. Mirko. Hesketh's continued his run forward. Hughes dived in. Players flying in once again. It's Hughes who is emerging with the ball, though, and then Woodcock will try and release Hodgson, who just lost that one, I think. Slightly played behind him and couldn't spot it. A wonderful goal-scoring form last season with 17 last term and another 5 already in season 2021. Played a big role in Guellup's promotion campaign in 2018. Praja will use his goalkeeper. Perkins gets under that. It may stay in play, though. It does. Smith pokes forward. Praja steps in. Mukwevo and now Garner. Last touch there off the Bayswater player, I fancy, and referee and linesman agree. ECU yet to turn to their bench this afternoon. They've gone with an unchanged side this afternoon. Bench players included. Higgins. Hodgson. Through the legs of Farah, but Praja had overran it slightly. Once again, ECU keeping their shape. They know they've got the counter-attacking weapons up front in Nicol and Hodgson should they need them. knowing full well that if they can keep a clean sheet, they'll win a 5th game in a row, but Bayswater will still have something to say about that, having scored in every game so far this season to date. ECU just dropping deeper slightly now, and Bayswater to come forward, and they win a corner as Fullard's cross hits Higgins and goes behind. It'll be Mirko who goes over to take. Been here since 2016, Jason Mirko. Can he provide a quality delivery? He slings it in. Parmentier got the head away. It'll fall for Hesketh. Bayswater will stay on the front foot for the time being. Fullard. And Mirko's still there from the corner. He'll swing it in. It's a good-looking ball. Shongo heads away, though. And now Higgins will find Nelson Shongo, who's got a paddock to run into over on that far side. 3 ahead of him, but opts to check back instead. Forward by Parmentier. Headed by Hesketh. Over Farah's head. And Hughes' header was a little wayward. Bayswater get the ball back once more. Here's Pearson's first notable touches of the game. Player who's been with the club for quite some time, Ryan Pearson. A tricky run with injuries, unfortunately, in recent times, but good to see him back on the park. Woodcock. Sparta and Higgins battling for the ball. It's Sparta who emerges with it. And now Fullard. Ball forward here for Tyler Garner, who's isolated for the moment, has to wait for support to arrive. Opportunity presents itself a little late. And then Fullard slides in. Took more of the player than the ball, according to the referee, and ECU win the free kick, and that will allow a third change to be made by Bayswater City. Shongo. Woodcock's cross. Nichols arriving in the area. It was just in front of Daryl Nichol, who'll go back and retrieve the ball, and Hesketh slides in and diffuses the situation for the moment. Higgins, strong challenge. Smith. Woodcock trying to wriggle away. Possession will emerge with Bayswater. And then Jeremy Shongo's fouled by Tyler Garner. Clip forward here for Hodgson. Flags up. He's offside. Pearson. Mirko. Jack Allen. Now Hesketh, ball forward here. Guavo, touch just escapes him. Fights really hard though. Now Garner. Spinning Pearson, who will look up, and Bayswater will try and keep the ball moving here. Smith, Mirko, Pearson goes to ground, no foul. Woodcock will emerge with the ball, and now Hodgson will look to wriggle away, but Sparta concedes a foul, and ECU will have another free kick to just slow the pace down once more. Pace which Bayswater are trying to apply. Hughes, ball back for Shongo, dangerous one. Great composure from Jeremy Shongo, but Smith can step in, and then the clearance was affected by Palmatier, and eventually play will be brought back for a challenge that happened a little earlier in the passage. It looked as though Gordon Smith was going to get the shot off there for a moment. Instead, referee deemed there was no advantage, and free kicks in a pretty good position here for the home side. Now Konstantinos, Sparta scored from a pretty similar position earlier in the season from the dead ball. Great goal on the opening day against Rockingham City, that one was. He stood over this one as well. Let's see what he can do. 5 in the wall for ECU. It's Sparta who goes into the wall, and Hodgson will get there first. Sparta stepped in. Last touch off Hodgson. Bayswater can stay on the front foot. Fullard. Mukwavo, Mirko, Smith. Most of this second half played in ECU's half so far, but they've repelled the danger thus far. And Mukwavo's winning the ball again, and Shongo's having to clear once more. Now Sparta, Garner, Pearson. Cross into the area, looking for Mirko. It's flicked on off an ECU head. We'll have a corner for the hosts. Mirko's ball in. It's a deep one. They're headed back across the face. Allen will volley towards goal, and then it's headed over. Last touch off an ECU body, and they'll have a subsequent set piece from the other side. In fact, it'll be taken once again by Mirko. A little bit of confusion there. In fact, it will be taken from the other side. Thought I saw Shane Skinner point in that direction. So Mirko goes over to the other side. 6 Bayswater bodies in the area. Driven ball in. Hesketh helps it on. It's looming dangerously into the near post. Chance for Mirko to put it back in. It's a deep one. I think that might have gone out of play. It has. Perkins able to watch over, and ECU will get us restarted with a goal kick. Johnny Perkins, who's kept 4 clean sheets so far this season, all in the last 4 games, and looking pretty good at this stage for a 5th. As we approach the final quarter of an hour or so of this game. Still Bayswater 0, ECU Joondalup 2, Nickel and Hodgson in the goals. Action live on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages this afternoon. ECU looking like they're going to close the gap on leaders Floreat Athena pending results elsewhere. Bayswater may stay in the top half, but they'll be waiting for scores elsewhere to confirm that. Hodgson goes to ground, and decision goes the way of the away side. So Higgins' free kick, it's looking for Nickel. Hodgson again going to ground there inside the area. This time, no decision going his way, and then Perkins is up his line, sweeping quickly and with risk of a head injury there possibly. Shane Skinner has called the game to a halt. Didn't quite see what happened to Danny Hodgson there as I was tracking the ball, but looks as though he's just rubbing the head a little bit, and obviously all appropriate precautions being taken. Been in the wars the last few minutes, Danny Hodgson. May just have to come off for a moment or so, but looks as though it's going to be fine to continue. Certainly a player that loves scoring goals and won't want to be missing any more opportunities to add to his tally this afternoon. ECU chances have been pretty few and far between in this second period. Most of the game played in their half, but the defence has been resolute and really has been the source of their excellent form of late. Shongo taking a chance at the back, does well in the end. Praja inboard to Hodgson, who's back on the pitch now. House switch of the play. Nelson Shongo's in plenty of space on the halfway line. Higgins goes to ground, no foul. Smith releases Garner, and once again stepping in Shongo with an excellent piece of defending. One of the best on the pitch this afternoon has Shongo, and now Praja will lift over for Hodgson, who's running in behind here. Danny Hodgson, it was straight at Mazzolini, but the save had to be made. And then slashing that away is Hesketh for the run of Garner, who can't quite keep that in play, unfortunately, and ECU will get the throw on this near touchline. This looked as though Hodgson wasn't quite able to get the ball onto his preferred foot there. Had to have a swing with the left, and Mazzolini was in position A. Mirko, determined play to win the ball and does really well to win the free kick for his team, Jason Mirko. Playing in that slightly more advanced position. And the Bayswater bodies attack the box again. Mirko's ball in, headed away by Nelson Shongo. Hooked away by Woodcock, only as far as Pearson, who hoists high for Hesketh, who'll head across goal. Arriving was Garner there. And the last touch was off. Bayswater player in amongst all that, and once again a close call of sorts, and it looks as though another change is going to be made by the home side here. In fact, we'll see a change made by both teams here. We're going to see Gomo DeCooley get some minutes. Former Balcatta and Perth Glory NPL player. He'll enter the field for Jason Mirko. It looks as though he's going to jump into the front line. We've also seen Sonny O'Shea enter the pitch for ECU Joondalup, a youngster who has impressed in the younger age groups for ECU at under 18 and under 20 level. 16 apps and a goal last season, and once of Perth Glory youth set up as well. O'Shea's introduction means that Riley Woodcock has gone to left back to fill the void of Nelson Shongo, who O'Shea replaced. Sparta. DeCooley. Back for Sparta. Little clip over the top. Praja heads away. Smith trying to apply some pressure. Hoisted, spinning ball. A little bit of a chaotic one from Perkins. And Mukwevo sticks to his task really well and wins the throw-in off Jeremy Shongo. Good play there from the young winger who never gave up the battle. Made a decent cameo since coming on. So Bayswater 0, ECU Joondalup 2. Well and truly into the final 10 minutes of this one. Goals from Hodgson and Nickel if you're joining us late. Bayswater having a lot of the ball in ECU's half in this second period, but not quite able to create the clear-cut chance their plays perhaps warranted. And you've got to say that's in part down to ECU's excellent defensive setup, which looks set to keep yet another clean sheet this season. A 5th and 7 looking very likely, barring any late drama here. And O'Shea will race after Woodcock's pass. Mukwevo slides in on Higgins, wins the ball, clean challenge. Home side play on. Garner, who's dropped a little deeper. Now Sparta. Patient play. Once more, it's Sparta picking up the ball from deep, playing into the feet of Smith. Fullard links up with a teammate. Return pass wasn't quite on the money though, and ECU are able to clear once more, and we've seen it so often this afternoon. They've been able to just play out from the back neatly. And on this occasion, it leads to Hodgson going to ground, and Higgins will now switch the play after the quickly taken free kick. Woodcock goes galloping. Back for Tom Howe. Flip over the tap for Nickel, who's not managed to stay on side. Not seen as much of the ball in this second half, Daryl Nickel, but his contribution was made in the first half, of course, with that opening goal of the afternoon. Hesketh. Ball forward looking for Mukwevo. Praja with good, experienced play in the fullback position. Hodgson chesting down. Hughes helps it forward. Bayswater turnover possession. Cut out though again by Praja. Played every game for the goals last season. Jakub Praja, a very durable player. Scored 3 times last season for Jamie Harnwell's side, but playing in the fullback role at the start of this campaign. DeCooley. Fullard. Ball had already crossed the line before Higgins could clear upfield. Sparta's ball. It's a nice pick out for DeCooley, who'll wriggle his way from Higgins. DeCooley's ball across the face, and Mukwevo was in the mix, but once again ECU's rearguard held firm. And despite plenty of good moments like that in this second half, they've just not quite been able to carve out that clear-cut moment. Gareth Naven's team looking to press to the very end though. Possession turned over though, unfortunately for them, and Howe will slide one out wide for Woodcock. Palmatier, who's looked steady in his second NPLWA game for ECU Joondalup this afternoon. He'll help forward, and now Nickel will run, or try to run at least, in behind ECU's, in Bayswater's defence, apologies. That was until Pearson slid in. 2 former teammates, of course. O'Shea bodies his opponent, wins the ball back. Hodgson turns over the ball, now Mukwevo. Clip over the top though, Bayswater have the runner going forward, but Shongo sliding in once more. How many times have we said that this afternoon? Minutes ticking down. Bayswater have to strike soon if they are to retrieve something this afternoon. Fullard's cross. It'll break here to the edge of the area. Mukwevo slides in. It'll loop up. Garner brings it down. Time to turn in the area. ECU committing numbers at the ball, and then Woodcock just slams it upfield. And Palmatier urges his defence to press up as high as possible. It's going to come straight back though. Pearson. Sparta. Still they push on here. Hesketh. Slicing away. Garner's header. Praja's header. Hughes' clearance. Stepping in Sparta. Shouts for handball. Nothing doing. Up in the air from Howe. All a little bit untidy at the moment, and eventually the header will run through for Perkins, who won't spend too much energy trying to pick that one up, and then will instead leave that one for a goal kick. So time ticks down, and ECU looking more and more certain of getting the 3 points this afternoon. Of course, we've got a week off next weekend due to FFA Cup action. And then we're back with the NPL action in a fortnight's time. ECU Joondalup will host Floreat Athena in what's shaping up as a mouth-watering top-of-the-table clash. Shongo heads back to Perkins and maybe just escape with one there. Games away at Perth and then at home to Coburn following for the defending champions. Bayswater, meanwhile, will travel to Armidale in a couple of weeks. A run of games against teams fairly close by them in the league. In terms of positioning, at least, anyway. Then they've got Guelph at home and Sorrento away. That one could be shaping up as a real top four grudge match. O'Shea wriggles away from Pearson. Sonny O'Shea. Touch was a little heavy though, although it nearly broke to a midfield partner. Albert Fullard. Gordon Smith. Full time. The damage was done in the first half here. Bayswater City defeated 2-0 by defending champions ECU Joondalup here. Goals in the last 5 minutes of the first half. One scored by Daryl Nicol, two-time gold medal winner and a favourite here who did win the top individual prize here back in 2019. And then the lead was doubled by Danny Hodgson, last season's Golden Boot winner. Both of those players scoring their 5th goals of the season, and that was ultimately the story of the game at the back end of the first half. Bayswater's best opportunity came pretty short soon after when Michael Zimmerino tested Johnny Perkins, and then for all the time that Bayswater spent in ECU's half in the second period, they just couldn't quite create a clear-cut moment. And ECU's rear guard stood tall and kept a 5th clean sheet in a row to go with their 5 consecutive wins as they continue to apply the pressure on leaders Floreat Athena. Full time here at Frank Drago Reserve. Bayswater 0, ECU Joondalup 2. Good night.